So the Indiana Pacers were very active in the trade market, getting a ton of pieces back. Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Tristan Thompson, Ricky Rubio. We got all these guys, Jalen Smith. So today, we're going to break down the team talking about the Indiana Pacers and why their future is bright. So what's up? I'm GDC. I do Rocket/NBA videos, so if you'd like to see, drop a like down below and press the sub button. I'd appreciate it. And now let's get into the video because this team on paper is actually very interesting. Now, they did lose to the Cleveland Cavaliers, I want to say. If I look up the box score, yeah, they lost 120 to 113. So, honestly, it was a good loss. The Cavaliers are a great team. Karis LeVert versing his old team. You got to take it with a grain of salt because the Cavs are one of the top teams in the East right now. But they are basically in a full rebuild right now, trading Domantas Sabonis. They're definitely their best player. They still do got Malcolm Brogdon, who they could flip in the offseason. Same thing with Miles Turner, but I think Miles Turner is going to stay for the long run. They also got TJ Warren, too, who they could trade. But getting into the backcourt of this Pacers team, so the one person I want to talk about really is Tyrese Halliburton. Now, we're talking about a guy that has very high upside, and honestly, I think he could potentially become a borderline all-star / an all-star in the future. I mean, he's 6'5", 185 pounds, so he can run the point guard and the shooting guard. He was a 12th pick in the 2020 draft, and he's averaging around 14 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. So, Halliburton, his game is very smooth. Whenever I watch his games, his ability to basically protect the ball while also being able to drive using his body is one of the best things about his game. He's also a great three-point shooter. If you look at overall stats, he's shooting around 42% from the three and 46% from the field. So Halliburton, I think he has potential to grow even more. Maybe even next season he could become maybe an 18 points per game scorer, probably an 8 assist player. I don't know. I could be stretching it a little bit, but I think Halliburton has a lot of potential. In his first game with the Pacers, he dropped 23 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists on 68 from the 3 and 60% from the field. So Halliburton, alongside Chris Duarte, who we will talk about next, I think that backcourt is going to be very scary for years to come. So getting into the next player, Chris Duarte. So Chris Duarte has been one of my favorite rookies of this draft class. He's been absolutely amazing, and he has been going under the radar recently because of playing time with Malcolm Brogdon. As of late, actually, he's actually been getting some more starts and more playing time. But I think Chris Duarte has been one of the better rookies in this draft class, and he was the 13th pick in the 2021 draft. So he is 24 years old, so that's the one reason why I have some issues with him. His game is almost pretty much complete. Coming into the NBA, I think he was one of the more NBA ready players because he was in college. I don't know how long he was in college for, but it was pretty much a long time too. So he is 6'5", 190 pounds, and he's averaging around 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Great overall stats for a rookie too, which is pretty surprising. 44 from the field and 37% from 3. Chris Duarte, he's also averaging a steal a game too, so his game is probably one of the most complete ones I've seen in this draft. Obviously, there's some players that have more complete games. Cade Cunningham, to name one, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes, those guys all have some pretty great games too. But Duarte, for the 13th pick, he's probably one of the most underrated rookies in this draft class. If I'm being real with you, I think Chris Duarte deserves an all-rookie team, maybe all-rookie first or all-rookie second. Either way, he's probably going to make an all-rookie team this season. He's been absolutely amazing for this Pacers team, and him alongside Tyrese Halliburton is going to be very electric because his 3-ball is very underrated. He's able to shoot the 3. He's also a good spot up, a good catch-and-shoot 3-point shooter. So honestly, looking at the rest of this team, we have a lot of interesting pieces to talk about. So Malcolm Brogdon, to name one. The Pacers could look to flip Malcolm Brogdon in the offseason. He is 29 years old and making $21 million this year. So a team, maybe a contender that wants Malcolm Brogdon for his defense and offense, could potentially buy it. Now he is injured because of an Achilles injury, so I'm not too sure how long he's out for. He hasn't been playing in the last few games, so I don't know what the future is for Malcolm Brogdon and the Pacers, but overall he's actually been pretty great this season before he was injured, averaging around 19 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. Malcolm Brogdon, he's an interesting player. The only real thing about his game is that he's not able to stay healthy. He's averaging 45 from the field this season and 31 from 3. He's been very injured this season, and that's the one reason why I don't see too many teams at best, to really bite on a Malcolm Brogdon trade. But if a team is very desperate for a starting caliber point guard, then I think a team could bite on a Malcolm Brogdon trade. So looking at the other pieces, they got Buddy Hield, who they could also flip because he was getting some trade interest from the Lakers and some other teams pre-trade deadline day. So I think in the offseason, they look to flip Buddy Hield because he is 29 years old, so it doesn't fit in with the time frame of the Pacers, but he does have a lot of value for a three-point shooter. So I think Caris LeVert for Ricky Rubio in that first-round pick was a great trade by the GM. I'm actually not too sure who the GM is for the Pacers. You guys can let me know in the comments, but they traded for an expiring deal and a first-round pick, which they were looking for because they are rebuilding, so it makes sense. And they got rid of Caris LeVert, who they were trying to trade. So looking at other pieces, Jalen Smith, he's also someone that has a lot of potential. He was the 10th pick in the 2020 draft, so he is fairly young, only 21 years old. So he could be a pretty interesting piece for this Pacers team. 6'10", 215 pounds, and he is averaging around 6 points per game, 5 rebounds, and no assists, basically. But I think playing on the Pacers, he could get a lot more run. Last game against the Cavs, he did get 21 minutes. So if he can get around to 18 to 20 minutes every night, then I would be fine with that. He could probably be someone that can average like a 10 and 10, a double-double player. So I think he has a lot of potential. He's a good three-point shooter for his size. Now, he is shooting 26% from three this season, and the only real reason for that is because he is averaging around 13 minutes per game. But last 10 games, he's been shooting 33% from three as a 6'10 player. So I don't know. This Pacers team has a lot of interesting pieces. Isaiah Jackson is also someone that has a lot of upside too. TJ McConnell, good six-man right there. But overall, this team has a lot of things they could possibly build around. Miles Turner, I think they're going to keep this guy for the long run. 25 years old, 6'11", 250 pounds. Good shot blocking ability and great three-point shooting, which is probably the best thing you can really ask for a big man. Obviously, if they can stretch the floor and also shot block like Mo Bamba, that's probably the best thing you can ask for at the big man position. But yeah, this Pacers team, they are honestly one of the worst teams in the league. If I search up the standings right now, they are standing at the 13th seed, 19 and 38. So they are out of the play-in race. But if they do keep on losing and they do get a top pick in this draft, yeah, so if the Pacers keep losing, they are projected at the 5th pick this year for the 2022 NBA draft. So now if they do get a top 5 pick, they should probably be looking for someone at the small forward / the power forward position, because that's really where they're lacking. If you're looking at it right now, TJ Warren has been injured for a pretty long time, and the power forward position is basically unfilled right now. So if they look at the draft right now, if they can get top 3 and get Paolo Banchero or Chet Holmgren or Jabari Smith, then that would help them in the long run. Tyrese Halliburton, Chris Duarte, and one of those 3. If they don't get a top 3 pick, they could go up. Jaden Ivey could be one, but it would be a really weird fit, Duarte, Ivy, and Halliburton. So that probably wouldn't happen unless they want to go draft best first. But there's not too many small forwards in the top 5 right now. Maybe AJ Griffin, who I did see have a great game one time. I'm actually not too sure how great he is. It says right here he's actually averaging around 17 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. So he could be someone that they could look to get. But I don't know. Let me guys know what you guys think about this Pacers team. I think the upside and the potential in this Pacers team is very, very apparent. We got all these young pieces right here. I think the one thing that's really going to push this team forward is Tyrese Halliburton going to be that guy, that scoring guy for this team, man? Is Chris Duarte going to be that guy alongside Tyrese Halliburton? And I think they could. This backcourt is very electrifying. I'm going to definitely be watching some more Pacers games, and go Pacers, man, because they have definitely turned the tides. At the start of the season, they were very disappointing, and I think a report came out a long time ago saying that they were going to commit to a full rebuild. So they straight turned the situation around and possibly got a franchise point guard in Tyrese Halliburton. So let me guys know what you guys think about this Pacers team. I think potential is there. The only real thing is that if they can figure it out together. So that's in the video. I'm JDC, and I'm out. Peace.